Hi, Mark here from the Tangibound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangibound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangibound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangiboundNetwork.com and see if Tangibound Network is right for you.
Sucks to the last drop. Are you gonna blow your head off? Take good aim and don't forget to duck. A life sucks every Monday and all the way to Sunday, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't care how you're doing, what's up or how's it hanging. I'd like to buy this world one last drink. Life sucks all of the time. Stick it up your sunshine, and then you'll see the clouds every day. And then you'll see the clouds every day. And then you'll see the clouds every day.
We're not doctors, therapists, trained professionals of any kind, so if you feel you do need help, please reach out and get the help you need. We have a whole list of things on our files page over on Facebook at facebook.com/crazylifepodcast, and or just search on the internet for the suicide prevention hotline number, or go to NAMI.org or whatever resource you can find. But just please reach out for help if you need it. If you feel as though you're going to harm yourself or others, definitely reach out. And try not to be alone. Also, if you feel that way and you realize that you're writing a note or making plans of how you would do, like harm yourself or others, definitely reach out. That's a huge red flag. And lastly, please do not replace the idea of therapy with listening to this show. Again, if you need help, please reach out and get the help that you need, or contact us. We can try to help you find the help that you need.
Welcome to The Crazy Life, everyone. My name's Jen. I am your hostess for the day, and with me, as always, is Brian. Hey, Brian.
Howdy.
And we have a special guest today. We have Meghan McGuire. And Meghan, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fabulous, thanks. Meghan is a mental health coach, everybody, and so we're going to get into that in a little bit, but as usual, we'll start with how your week has gone. Brian, you want to start us off?
Sure. My week...
put you on the spot.
Yeah. My week's been pretty boring. I'm still fighting this cold that I have, and it just won't quite go away. So I, off and on, not really felt like doing much. And yeah, really, that's really about it. I've done almost nothing this week. Oh, you know what? Actually, there is one thing that I've done, which was, the other night, for the first time in I don't know how long, I was actually looking through, like job listings and, kind of considering things, because, well, for a few reasons. One, in the event that the, legislation goes through here in Michigan and, people have to, work a certain amount of hours to get Medicaid, that way it'd be ahead of the curve. Also because, it'd just be nice to have some money coming in.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know you were texting me about some different things, so that's a huge step.
Yeah. So, and I found one or two that I'm probably going to apply for here. I just haven't done it yet, but because I got put a resume together real quick. So, but yeah, that's.
Well, if you need any help, let me know.
Yeah, I will. I'm pretty sure that's about it for my week. Like I said, it's been pretty not
eventful?
exciting. Yeah, not at all.
Well, that sucks that you've not been feeling. I know there's been a lot of things going around.
Yeah.
Quite a few people having allergy issues and all that good stuff because of our wonderful warm weather.
Yeah.
But and then Megan, how are you? How's your week been?
I was saying, funny. I just got off of the Z-Pack myself, so
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, I was out for a sinus infection, so they say. And right, so you just really kind of knocked me down for 4 or 5 days. I didn't want to do anything. Was it just the 4th of July week this week? 3-day work week.
Yes.
That was awesome. It felt like a 10-day work week though. Usually the shorter weeks feel about 10 times longer.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. That was cool, to get some extra rest. I think the highlight of my week is, honestly, my boyfriend and I have the movie pass. So Thursday we went and saw the first Purge, and more excitingly, on Friday I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Is it pretty good?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That's like the highlight so far, probably, of my week that was the movie. I mean, other than that, like I said, work a few times, did a family shindig, which was a little always fun. My mom's side of the family. Yeah, that's my normal routine work. I do go down river and visit my family, go to yoga class, but I'm going to go with Ant-Man and the Wasp. That tops everything.
Nice. I want to check that out because that looks like it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
I suggest it highly.
Nice. Well, Brian actually used to co-own a bookshop, so
that's so cool.
Yeah, so he's very familiar with the storylines, at least in a lot of the comic book movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever read a lot of Ant-Man and the Wasp and that type of stuff, Brian?
Not as much when I was younger. Over the last few years, there's been a run on Ant-Man that I really was a big fan of. So that's more of where it is. But it wasn't like it's not the original Ant-Man, Hank Pym. That was, who it was when I was younger. But it was still... It was a book that sometimes when most of the time he was in like other books, like Avengers and stuff like that. So it was, he was around.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my week has been, it seems like we're all kind of in the same boat. It's been pretty uneventful, but something interesting that happened was on Tuesday. There's a local company that showed interest in me, so we ended up having a conversation on Tuesday over the phone, and sounds like they're very interested in having me come in for an interview. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's a company I've been watching for a while, and I'm not crazy about changing jobs again because this would be the 3rd job in 1 year, which is never a good thing. But,
right.
When push comes to shove and it's, more money, and we kind of talked last week a little bit about how my current job has been kind of messing with my mental health.
Right.
And this may be a better solution. This job might be a better fit for that. Better hours, less hours, and more consistency. So it'll be a traditional Monday through Friday type of a job, and that I think will make it easier for me to kind of manage the bipolar aspect of my life and keeping my mental state a little bit more balanced than what I have been able to do with this job. So we'll see how that goes. But you know how it brings upon a whole new layer of stressors with going through the interviewing process. And this would be a panel interview, which I would have to interview with multiple people at different times. So I think she was saying 2 or 3 people at a time. Of course, over a course of probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So
Wow.
it's
That's a long time.
yeah. It's pretty intense. It's it's a company that it's their corporate headquarters, and so it's a little bit of a guess I hate to say fancier job, but a little bit more formal of a job, I guess that
Yeah.
Discussed before, like your before the call is your health is so much more important. You can always find another job, but you cannot not always, replace you, or else you won't be able to do that job.
Yep.
That's so much more important is your well-being.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's where, I talked a little bit last week. We talked about that because I am Megan kind of give you an update last episode. I've been on the verge of going into mania a little bit. I can kind of feel myself going into that, and I think a good portion of that is because of my work schedule and getting on myself unbalanced. So this week I'm doing much better with that. I think that it's starting to subside a bit. I'm not feeling as manic as I was in the past couple weeks. So I'm thinking I'm going past is a great thing. So that part's good. My medicine, I'm doing really good at keeping up with my medicine and everything, which I know is helping keep me on the balanced aspect of stuff. So, but I would say, I don't know, my highlight of the week, it's tough to say because it's not been a uber special week, but I don't know. I would say the Tuesday before the 4th. So I would say Tuesday I had a couple, I had a take care of Jen day. I got my nails done. I got my hair done. I had the phone interview, and I just felt good. It was a good take care of Jen day. So that was my highlight.
I like that day. That sounds like a great day.
Yeah, doesn't it? It was. It was a really wonderful day, and I really enjoyed myself. And I've got some really wonderful people that the woman that does my nails is we made friends through the fact that she did my nails, and we became friends by just being there and talking and during the nail sessions. And so that's always fun because I get to go and sit and talk with her while she's doing my nails, and we catch up on stuff. And then the woman that does my hair is also a very nice lady, and we get a chance to talk. So it was a lot of gab and just nice warm fuzzies. So I always like those days.
Nice.
So with that, since we have Megan here, I figured we could do a little bit of a question and answer type of a show.
Okay.
So I wanted to start with, Megan, what made you decide that you wanted to be a mental health coach? What kind of brought you?
Well, gosh, many different things. I kind of, my boyfriend and I kind of follow Tony Robbins. Do you guys know?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
People don't know. It's always like he's in shallow hell, and like I can't watch one of those man's videos, or he's got a documentary out there without like tears in my eyes. It's like he can work some magic, and that's what he's considered as a life coach. And I was going to school for social work. I was in graduate school, and unfortunately, I acquired some physical illnesses and wasn't able to finish. La-di-da. And so I just started seeing a lot more stuff coaching online. I really, maybe because I've been Googling Tony and just reading some sort of stuff. And then I didn't realize that there's more than one type of coaching. Of course, I'm not a real businessy type person. So I'm like, well, can't really business coach, but when coaching overall, you don't have to be an expert in that area. But I would like to have that kind of more of a knowledge. So I was looking, there's life coaches, there's wellness coaches, nutrition coaches. Well, I stumbled upon a girl on Facebook who she is coaching me to become a coach because it's a process. And that's what she had dubbed herself, because she has borderline personality disorder. So we were in the same Facebook. And I started asking her some questions and kind of started getting a feel for, well, hey, wasn't able to finish grad school and go into social work, which I kind of figured out, how the system works, the community mental health system works. It's a lot of paper pushing, and it's not a lot of quality time with people. Mm-hmm. That's what I would get in trouble for when I interned at a rehab facilities, because I spent too much time with the patients, or I don't like to call them patients, with the folks, and not the paperwork, because that's what they want done, the paperwork. And I'm like, well, this is this person's life, this is a little more important. So I was like, you know what, this is great, because this is, you're not really supposed to counsel people when you're coaching. There's people ask the question between, coaching and counseling, mentoring and coaching, mm-hmm. and consulting, and they're similar to an extent. There is going to be a therapeutic value to a mental health coach, because it's going to be therapeutic, because when you're a coach, you're supposed to focus on the present and the future. Past. That's usually what therapy. Sure. That's what therapy is for. But there's going to be a therapeutic value, because I'm going to have to know as a coach where you're coming from, and I really have to have like a mental health diagnosis for me to work with somebody, because we all do. Everyone has a mental health, and everyone has a physical health.
Sure, absolutely.
And mental health wise, I mean, just daily life stressors, coping through things, and just everything. But, as we very well know, is if you're diagnosed with a depression, or in my case, borderline personality disorder, it makes life just that much harder, just a little bit. It kind of puts, a bump in the road. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing so much research. I have so much paperwork laid out in front of me, trying to make sure that, because I'm so afraid of, oh man, I hope I can, help. I just want to help. I really just want to help other people reach their goals and fulfill their quality of life. For me, I started researching, and all these coaches were talking about, oh, when did you make your first 6 figures? And I'm like, whoa. Like, I'm not even thinking about that.
Yeah.
The back of my head is, it would be really cool if I could like replace my income 6 months to a year down the road so I can leave my job. But mm-hmm. I'm learning these things of, if you don't charge enough, that people won't take you seriously because you're not a quality coach. And there's a lot of ins and outs of it. That's why I have my own coach. So she's giving me homework assignments, which you would do as if I would be coaching somebody, What is your goal? That's basically what it is. There's all of these worksheets. Well, I know everyone likes worksheets, and it's terrible. You don't want to do it, but typically when someone's going to a coach, they have something they want to accomplish. Right. Not everyone wants to go to therapy, but they do because they know or because they're forced to. Mm-hmm. But so that is another exercise I've had to do, is what type of client would you want and not want? Well, typically I want someone who's going to come to me who wants to work towards their change. I really having a hard time of doing my homework of saying what type of person I would not want to help, because I would figure that if you're going to come to a coach, you're seeking help. Right. And the thing is as a coach, I'm kind of more like your cheerleader. Mm-hmm. The counselors help you, dig deeply and go through all these, the CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and you talk about medications. Well, of course I have a bit of a background and I know things, so that will be quite useful because I need to know a little bit, but inevitably when you're coaching someone, they figure out their own solutions and their own problems, and I'm just there to keep them on track. And like I said beforehand, like a business type thing, that is just not up my alley whatsoever. Like a health coach, no. And I guess I could, put myself into as a wellness life coach, but I specifically targeted the mental health because, that's what I'm more passionate about. And I'm hate to say this, but I will say it, is that inevitably I will be able to market the things that I have been through to be able to help others with, like specializing in certain things of people who have certain mental health issues, as in past of, for example, someone who's self-harms. Not everyone is going to know how to walk someone, talk someone, through that one. A goal to not do that anymore. That is something that I had a huge trouble with when I was younger. Huge. And not everyone can relate to that at all. I mean, only the people who've been through it can relate to it,
Sure. That's pretty serious, heavy stuff.
Yes, and people don't understand, that and unfortunately, it's a release. It's a release for people. Some people, they have a beer, they do this or do that, but when you are in that state of mind and that frame of mind, that is what makes you feel better. So I would, like I said, inevitably take the things that I have experienced in the past and have learned over the years to cope with, pass along with someone else. Another huge one for me would be the body dysmorphic disorder, and that's where a lot of the self-harm came from.
Yeah.
And, we'll be honest, not everyone has the best self-esteem always ever about themselves, but it's just along the lines too of, there's a difference between being depressed and having depression.
Yes.
Everybody gets depressed. It's just inevitable. Life throws things at you every single day, but having clinical diagnosed depression, therapy, medication, that's a different ball game. So low self-esteem as opposed to body dysmorphic disorder, which is horrible because it makes you feel like you are completely and utterly disgusting and worthless. It took me years, and I still struggle coping with those types of things. So inevitably I would like to dive that deeper into when I'm coaching, along the way, those things that I have dealt with. The girl who's coaching me, she's specifies in borderline personality disorder, and there's specific therapy, DBT, for that. That's very quite useful. So, I don't know if I'm going to touch in on that deeply. Inevitably, that's the stuff. Those are a couple of things that I would like to specialize in. Somebody who has, a body dysmorphic disorder, I need a coach, someone to keep me. What is your goal? My goal is to, in the next 6 months, develop some sort of better way of coping with the self-harm, not, or whatnot, and loving myself, caring about myself, alternatives to cutting myself, thinking this badly about myself along the way. So eventually I would like to get that detailed into it. And generally speaking, just starting, I'm trying to overall just be, it's okay to have like a coach mental health wise, as I said before, because we all have a physical and mental health, and people do need help coping through everyday lives. Like even Jen said earlier, getting through a job change. It's your third job. Like maybe, for example, I need a coach to keep me on track with this one. That is my goal, is to stay focused, and instead of, that's what for example, for what you would use, that would be your goal, and I would be your cheerleader with my little pom-poms over here, working with you, talking with you, and, I have a whole slew of research and questionnaires and homework ready for, like I said, I hate using the word client, but I would go with client to do, and I'm ready to do it. So it's something as simple as, That's not as simple, but I mean, as getting myself through this job change. So, and that's mentally, on anybody that is can be really hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Job changes. I mean, I'm thinking about, myself trying to change a job. That's hard. And you could really use someone like once a week to get you, an atta girl, like validate your feelings and telling you, that it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to have these fallbacks, but what can we do to get you here?
Right.
Try what hasn't worked and what else can we figure out to do together? Because sometimes you just can't figure that out on your own.
Yeah.
And sometimes, people and love and care about are biased.
Mm-hmm.
They think they know you and all that type of things. And that can become very frustrating and actually counteractive. That doesn't always help. It can makes you make things worse. Like, judgment. Well, why don't you just take this job? You need the money. It's like, well, because I don't think this will work with my schedule, or I don't think this is the right fit for me, and then like personally, I've experienced that with family members. You need this health insurance. Yeah, well, these hours aren't what I need right now. So it's hard when, having a coach is going to be me over here helping you. And that's inevitably would be your goal my goal is to get a new job and get myself there safely, happy, and productively. So in a sense, that's what I'm aiming for in the beginning. And I dubbed it as mental health coach as well, to be people were open-minded to know that if you have a diagnosis as well, that I'm open to working with you as well, because I know what that's like.
Right.
Instead of just saying, I kind of wanted to use just wellness coach, but I feel like I want to take from what I learned over these past 20 years of what I've gone through and take it, there's only so much you can learn from a textbook. Well, I think we all know that.
Yeah.
So much you can learn like when I was going to grad school, like, am I going to really use Freud's, it sounds bad, 100-year-old crackhead theory to help somebody? I mean, come on. That's just not going to happen. And I've always felt that since, unfortunately, I've been through a lot of these things, that I would be not better, but a good fit to help other people, because I know what it's like.
Right.
So,
and that definitely, I'm sure, would help, because someone knows that exactly where they are in whether it's a struggle or whatever it is. Yeah, I could see where that would be comforting.
Yeah, it's like a judgment-free zone. Some people some coaches are too intense. I mean, I think when I played sports in high school, it was just like, dude, get off my back, get some encouragement, not you yelling at me in front of everybody. That wasn't coaching. That was making me want to quit the basketball team.
Right.
Or if I had different coaches who were awesome, who would take me aside and tell me, you need to try this, try that, whatever you're doing isn't working. Mm-hmm. And that's inevitably, what I want to do. You're not going to always agree. I can't always sugarcoat everything and I'm going to have to do, well, try this, whether you're in a different option, whether you like it or not, so we can move forward. And I'm not very good at that kind of thing, but I have a feeling when the time comes, I'll be all right with that one. Working with my coach and her and I having some discussions, and me explaining these things to her as well. I said, I think you'll be just fine when that time comes around. So that gives me a little bit more bout of confidence. So
right.
I'm just kind of chugging along, moving slowly but surely. I'm not, like I said, in this to make millions and millions of dollars. I'm in it to help people, and inevitably, hopefully, it would be nice in a year that I could leave my job and I could do this. This is what my passion was to do, is to help people and hence I couldn't finish grad school. Well, I don't need a degree to be a coach.
Right.
I need the knowledge, the passion, and the heart to do it. So that's
awesome. I mean, I love where you're coming from. We seek out coaches for so many different reasons. We go get trainers at the gym, and we have, mentors at work and stuff. And it just, to have a mentor for your mental health, it's a really great idea. Yeah. So what is a typical, session for you? Do you meet up with your client at a specific place, or?
Initially, what I'm doing right now is just like as we are doing right now. A lot of it is over the phone or via Skype. We are in Skype, but we can see each other. It's phone based. And if you have a client, I said hating that close by, it would be up to their discretion. Where do you want to meet? Where do you want to do? And let's do this. And inevitably, the first thing is first. First time we talk is we lay it out. I have this whole, it's not like a spiel, but we need to find out what you need, what your goals are. And there's a bajillion questions I can ask you to get a sense of what you need, what we need to work on. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, what am I looking at? There's a lot of different methods to working with people. Like this one is called, the GROW model. Like the very first thing for the G is, the GROW model is establish the goal. We're going to establish it. At first, we're going to establish your goal and, discuss that at first. Mm-hmm. What goal do you have for yourself? How do you know when you've been successful? What does success look like to you? Then we go with, R, as in we're in grow, we're spelling out grow here, your current reality, tell me what's happening now. What led you up to this, and so forth. There's different models that I can and cannot use. And can and use different ones to use with different people. And then I use that model with someone and we start in that way. It doesn't seem so, this isn't really working at me. There's also, this other one I've come across that other coaches use. It's called the wish model. Why do you want to be coached? And, it just goes on, just kind of like the GROW model, asking certain questions and just kind of getting a feel for what they need, what their inevitable goal is, what they need, what they want, and how can we do this? And that would be like an initial one. And then every week is kind of like a check-in type thing. Mm-hmm. We're going to work on what you've done. And like I said, they are inevitably going to be the ones who figure out their own solutions to their own problems. I'm just there to guide them along. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that is, initially those are the questions that I will ask, your goal, what have you done, cannot do, and, those, like I stated before, when do you know that you've achieved this, and all that sort of stuff.
Gotcha. Well, there's, and you actually were talking about some worksheets and things like that. There's actually a worksheet that's very near and dear to Brian's heart that he got from his therapist, and that is the name is escaping me. Brian, help me out.
Oh, it's distorted thinking. Like how to identify it, and how to try to correct it.
Yes, that's very dear to me too, of the irrational thinking.
Yeah.
Yes, because we've mentioned that quite a few times on the show about the distorted thinking, and it seems like that would kind of touch into a lot of the things that you've been talking about and stuff to work on. So it sounds like that would be kind of something that would be a typical stuff that would be worked on. Is that kind of?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Yes. Because along the way, that is what's going to happen. Is what's going to even like with me, with personally being coached right now. I said before, like I have these weeks where I am just in it to win it with my homework, and then I just kind of fall back.
Mm-hmm.
I have a day where I just don't. I'm tired. I don't want to do this. And then, thankfully, I have a coach who's like, "Hey, have you finished your homework yet?" And I'm like, "Dang it, no." She's like, "Okay, well, she's like, that's okay. That happened to me. Get back to me when you finished." And I'm like, yay, okay, thanks. And I think about it. Okay, then that's about it. I think about it. And 2 or 3 days later, she's checking in on me, and I'm like, all right, I gotta, I gotta check myself. I gotta get into this. I gotta get this done because this is the reason why she's coaching you, so you can learn how to take this, away and use it with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because definitely the whole thought process with everybody is, it's just so easy. So it's just astray from things, especially when it's difficult and it's frustrating. It's really hard. It's really, really hard when you're frustrated and someone's telling you to do a worksheet. But inevitably, when you're a coach, people are coming to you. I'm not necessarily assigned to your therapist. Know. Yeah. But I'm going to understand as the mental health aspect that it's going to be hard for you, and I'm not going to be. I've watched videos where people who said that they have had breaking up coaching relationships because their client would not participate in their homework. And it's like, okay, well, I feel like as a mental health coach, I'm going to have a little bit more leeway on that aspect. I'm not going to let you we're going to do, say a 6-session agreement. I can't let you sit there and do it 2 or 3 times, over and over again, or else we're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
A slip up, a slip back. Okay, that's cool. I get it, because I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now, and it's frustrating. But inevitably, it's going to have to, we're going to have to do this, or we're not going to get anywhere.
Right.
And that's the whole goal is to, get to where you want to be.
Yeah. So. Having that open mind and open spirit to really want to change. It's tough to change, but yeah, you definitely have to want the change to happen.
Yeah, and definitely, the thing about change, well, we don't all like change, but there's something we do want to change. My biggest point is a set a goal that is reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Not a baby goal. I mean, in between, a goal that is obtainable. I'm a good person to knowing to have so much high expectations of myself and letting myself down. So I get this, and I would like to not tell someone to not have a big goal, a big hope, a big dream, but let's start out, somewhere you think that this is attainable for you, because then just mentally they're gonna get so distraught and so regress so much that we're never gonna get anywhere, and I'm gonna be no help, and I'll be, I think, probably more distraught because I'm here to help. I want to help. I want to get you there. So the whole goal purpose for me too is let's put it on a scale of this is attainable. We can get there. Let's nothing too big, but nothing real little. Obviously, either right in the middle.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the middle. So that goal wise, that's it's gonna be a main focus. Obviously, clearly the goal and how big, how small, and what we can attain. So
absolutely. So that sounds really awesome. Just to have someone there to be able to walk through your goals with you and kind of just take your hand and help you through. Because so often we've talked about on the show before how isolating a lot of mental illnesses are. They feed off of isolation. So having someone that isn't going to placate you, like family sometimes does, or dismiss you, which a lot of times we run into that. Just to have somebody there to be your cheerleader and to understand where you're coming from. It just, I can absolutely see the benefit of reaching out and having a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely, and I've also thought about too, someone had suggested to me too, is that, this might be useful for people who are like in therapy still, but still need more. Like
Sure.
someone had told me, well, what about people who, their therapy sessions have run out for the year with their insurance, but they still need something to keep them going, something like that along those lines as well. Or, how we know insurances may not cover, you might get, the community mental health is everyone's discretion, how you feel about it, but may not be good enough for somebody. Mm-hmm. And then that's when they fall into the whole huge money making thing. And if you don't charge enough, you don't be taken seriously. Well, seriously, at the beginning of starting here, I understand if you're coming to me for help and you can only afford this much, it's a slight. I'm gonna help somebody out. It's no, hands down. My time is precious, but someone needs help, and if they, some of these people charge a couple $100 a session. No, you can, I'll work with somebody because they need it, they want it, they're seeking it out. We'll figure it out.
Right.
Nice.
Mm.
Yes. Definitely. I mean, I even see myself as I progress and things grow bigger and bigger for me, because that is my plan. I can still see myself being able to, not being able, but will be doing that, because I've been there. I know what it's like to need help, to need someone to keep me going. Mm-hmm. But my insurance sucks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I went through that last year, actually, where I ran out of dates, or, times I could go. And and it was, what was it, Jen? Do you remember? It was like August, I think, when I ran out.
Yeah, you went quite a while without therapy, which I know was a real hardship for you.
Yeah.
You get like 20 sessions for a certain amount of things. It's like, okay, well, I got to calculate this. This is every couple weeks and you're right. That happened with me too. That's crazy. In August, I had to plan out how many more times can I speak with her before the end of the year. Like, I need to do this, plan this out, but crap, what if I need her in between?
Yeah.
And
that was my issue. I was going weekly because I was in a point where I felt I needed, that help every week. And, then we spaced them out because she was like, hey, you're going to run out, and I was like, I think, I had like 6 or 8 left or something like that. And it's like, geez, it's like I have to go now from going weekly to monthly or bi-monthly or bi-weekly, something.
Right.
And like you said, it's like I have to essentially compromise my, what I felt was helping me because of that. So it really stunk. Yeah.
And I've been in the same boat too. And the place I have now is actually, they dub themselves as a holistic type therapy, and they do take my insurance, and I'm allowed 20 visits per year. And her and I, we work together. They actually have, she will let me know you have this much left, and they have a sliding scale fee.
Nice.
So if I needed to come to the point where by the end of the year I am all out, and she's really cool, and then she has to, follow company policy as well. But at my income level, $60 is going to put burn a hole in my wallet. But if I'm going to need 3 more sessions before the end of the year to get me through the end of the year, well, I'm going to have to take payments, because that's how I am with everything.
Yeah.
And they'll work with you, and that's inevitably why I really like that place. So
that's awesome.
And I want to make sure that I can do that for somebody too, because if someone's coming to you for, help to get by, then, I mean, I'm going to help them. Yeah. That's it, no matter what.
Yeah, I'd be the same way. I'd have a hard time turning someone away because of money. It'd be tough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so you said you're at the beginning. You're growing your business and things like that. So what is your goals for the future? Do you have some short-term goals?
My short-term goals are due to the fact of my setbacks. By the summertime, I really wanted to be more than my whole pro bono helping. Mm-hmm. You're not really supposed to help friends out, family out, whatever. Well, fortunately, this is what I've been doing as of right now, because I'm still being coached along the way myself. Mm-hmm. Do I feel confident enough right now to take on somebody? Of course I do. But right now, this is just what I have to do. I have to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. Short-term goals, yes. I want to make sure I want to make sure that I can replace my income. See, I don't want to use income. I want to have a few clients, steady clients, by the end of the year. And then the whole replacing the income, which obviously it comes second to me. It would be within a year, honestly, within a year. It would be nice to be quicker, but I would like to, not let myself down. Those goals I have too myself.
Yeah, right.
And inevitably, once I can do that, then I can leave my job myself and focus mainly on this, because this is what I'd rather do. My other job is quite draining, physically and mentally, and I don't feel fulfilled as I used to.
Right.
And this is so much more dear to my heart than, I feel bad saying that, than my job right now. I do.
Nothing wrong with that.
Do like my job, but when I first started that job, I thought I was doing something. I was making a difference, and now it's just no. And this is it. I like I said, I was listening to Tony Robbins, and one day it was just kind of like a light bulb went off. Like, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. And I've told a lot of people about it. My boyfriend's 100% supportive. I've had a few family members look at me like I was insane. And then I've had a few people, like, okay, with the glazed over eye stare, like probably my mother.
Absolutely. Been there.
My mother.
Right.
Yeah, cough, cough, mother. And, even though, like, Dad, the other day, Dad brought something up. He's like, oh, well, I haven't heard you say something much about your coaching lately. And I go, oh, actually, you know what? And the thing is that even though he said that, it was really nice to have him recognize it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because nobody else asks me about that. Because of course, my boyfriend does, because he's with me daily, and he sees what I do, and when I do my coaching and my research and putting together my program and all that stuff. But it was really nice to, recognize. My dad's like, you haven't said anything much about that lately. And I was like, oh, well, and we talked about it. And I did point that out to my boyfriend, how that was really nice, even though it's something so very small, but it's so important to me.
Absolutely. It's very important to have your support system recognize what you're doing and offer you that support. You're right. It was great. And it's like I said, a lot of the other family members are just kind of like, yeah, well, whatever, but. Well, when you deal with mental health, because with our podcast and everything, I get the combination of the eye rolls, the oh, okay, and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
So I get it. And I understand where they're coming from too. And, Brian and Henna both have owned up to the fact at some points in their lives that they were even the eye rollers in the situation. But we made a believer out of Brian. Slowly but surely, Brian.
Yep.
He got you.
That was a little delayed.
Yeah. Only because I thought I was going to cough. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Meghan, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to reach you?
Well, of course, I'm on Facebook, so I guess clearly if you're not my friend on Facebook, it's it would be my email. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great. I'm thinking because I do have a couple different accounts. My personal and now my I only use my Gmail account a couple times, which is very simple. It's mwmcguire@gmail.com.
So MW.McGuire at gmail.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty. And then if they want to find you on Facebook, they can just look you up under Meghan McGuire.
Yes, they can. But Meghan with an H, so too. Because and then when my page does pop up, even if you aren't not my friend, it will show you that it says Meghan Manages. And it just basically says Meghan McGuire Mental Health Coach. Legit, it's that straightforward. I wanted something a little more creative. I sat there at work with my friends trying to think of what could I call this, and a really good friend. I feel really bad. She gave me a really good idea, and she used analogies about it. And you should use this because you have a really good willpower of taking care of yourself with all your health issues, and it's great that you have all this willpower to take that and help other people. But then inevitably, when I was sitting here typing away, I'm like, we're just going to have to go with Meghan McGuire Mental Health Coach for right now, because that's the easiest thing for me to remember.
And sometimes it's just better to have it nice, straight, simple, to the point.
Yeah. I said I would have liked something a little more creative, but like you said, straight to the point. It's fine for me. It's good with me for right now, for sure. I'll probably stick with it, actually.
Yeah, because it's pretty nice just to have it nice and straight. And then, folks, if you'd like to get in touch with Meghan, you know how to do that. If you want to continue conversation with Brian and I, you can also reach out to us. You know the stuff. You know how to do it. But you can reach out to us. I'm on Facebook at Genevieve McDaniel Chopek, which is quite a long thing. So you can reach us at the Facebook page. And that's the Crazy Life Podcast at Facebook. But Brian will give you more details on that. Mm-hmm. You can also reach me on Twitter at Jen's Crazy Life. That's Jen with a G. And Henno, he wasn't able to join us today, but if you want to reach out to Henno, he's also on Twitter at Ida Henno, sorry. So Ida Henno on Twitter and Facebook at Henno Heiter. And Brian, what's the rest of the contact info?
You can find the show also on Twitter at The Crazy Life Pod, where I post when new episodes go up. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Crazy Life Podcast. You can find me at Stunami on Twitter, and you can find my other podcast, Salty Language, at salty_language or at saltylanguage.com. That show is not safe for work though, so beware of certain ears when listening.
It's a fabulous podcast, Meghan, and I'm not just saying that because I like Brian, but it is a really good one.
So that sounds great. It does. The name says it all.
Right.
It does, doesn't it?
It sure does. And that sounds great.
And then if you, folks, is going to go a little off script than we normally do towards the ending here. Since we have Meghan, I want to make sure that we really, really emphasize get help. People like Meghan are out there and they just want to help you. They want to be part of your support system. So, add a coach, add a therapist to your doctors, to your family, to your friends. The more support that we have for each other, the healthier we can be and the better off we're all going to be. And hopefully we can break free from this cloud that's covering us right now with all this mental health and issues and all of the negativity and bad things that seem to be happening because of it. So with that, Brian, you want to wrap us up?
What? you just did what I usually say, so.
I know. Do you have anything to add?
Thank you. That was great.
Ryan, do you have anything to add?
No, that's like you said. I keep emphasizing to people to reach out. Make sure everybody that you can just talk to people. Make sure they're doing okay. Whether they're your strongest friends or the one you think's the weakest. If you have a chance, just make sure they're doing all right.
Absolutely. And thank you very much for coming on and joining us, Meghan. We loved having you.
Thank you so much. I'm ever so grateful for you guys to have me on. It was great talking with you guys. You guys are awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And on that happy note, we are going to call it a night. You guys out there, have a great week. Smile with your toes. You know the rules. Talk to you later.